guys, Tayura here and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you already been here, thanks for coming back. So in today's video, we are going to be testing and reviewing the new Pat McGrath Celestial Odyssey eyeshadow palette. So if you want to hear my thoughts on this palette or just see me create this look, then please keep on watching. Before we start the video, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Please turn your post notifications on so you get notified every time your girl uploads a video. And follow me on Instagram. And with that being said, let's jump right into the video. Alright you guys, so before I jump into swatching the palette and trying it out on the eyes, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the palette. So this is what it looks like. It comes with 18 shadows, and as you guys can see, the Pat McGrath logo is in the middle. The shadows look gorgeous. Before I jump into swatching the shades and playing with it, I just wanted to compare it to last year's Celestial Divinity eyeshadow palette. So if you know, I don't know if I mentioned, this retails for $78, and if you know about Pat McGrath shadows, her 10-pan shadows are usually around $125. The palette from last year, I feel like they put more work into this year palette. This one looks a lot cheaper than this year. This year is a little bit bigger, a little bit thicker, and even inside the palette looks a lot better than the one from last year. Let me just show you them side by side. So the backing of the palette is different. It gives a little bit more of the Pat McGrath feel to it. It does have the same strings on the side just to hold the palette up, but I'm going to snip those off once I'm done doing this review. So I'm just going to swatch these shadows for you guys really quick so I can show you guys what all these shadows look like swatched, and then I'll jump into playing with the eyeshadows. Alright you guys, so I did go ahead and swatch the shadows for you guys, but bear in mind my swatches are very crooked and I don't feel like my swatches do the shadows justice, but this is what they look like. Some of these shades you can't really see on camera because they're kind of like shape shifty, but this is what they look like for the most part. I'm just going to wash this off and then we can jump into playing with these shadows. These shadows swatched really nicely, very creamy. The formula feels the same as the one from last year. So yeah, I'm going to wash this off and I'll be right back. I'm going to take the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Chestnut, and I'm going to use this as my eyeshadow base. I'm going to blend this out with my Real Techniques sponge. And I'm going to take a little bit of my Sephora translucent setting powder just to set the concealer on my lids. And I'm using the same sponge. By the way, you guys, I forgot to mention that this palette comes with 4 mattes, and last year we only got 3 mattes. I went ahead and I snipped the string from the side just because it's easier to manage the palette. I'm going to take my E27 brush. By the way, I don't know what eye look I'm creating as yet, and I'm just going to start with this shade right here. I'm just going to blend that all over my crease. This is a really nice transition shade, a really nice everyday kind of shade. I'm going to take my M573 brush and I'm going to take this chocolate brown shade right here, and I'm just going to use that to kind of deepen the eyes. Just a little bit. Pigment. This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying that the camera isn't doing the swatches justice. Like, just look at the pigment, you guys. Wow. I'm just going to do a quick cut crease. I'm using my flat cut crease brush from AliExpress and a little bit of the Too Faced Born This Way concealer that I used as eyeshadow base. And I'm not cutting my crease as high up as I usually do. So I'm taking this flat brush and I'm going to use this bluish greenish color. I'm just going to pat that right here. You guys, pigment. I was going to use this shade for the inner corners, but I think I'm going to try and use this gold shade and just blend it in together. By the way, you guys, I didn't wet my brush or anything like that. The shadows just apply that easily. And I'm just using that same brush to like kind of blend it out. Alright y'all, I went ahead and I applied some lashes off camera. This is not the regular eye look that I usually do, but I just wanted to play with the palette just so you guys could see, you know, the colors in action. I'm going to do the rest of my face off camera and then I'll come back and do my lower lash line and the lips with you guys. So I'll be right back. Alright y'all, so for the lower lash line, I'm taking my Sephora liner and I'm just going to use that to line my waterline. Then I'm taking the M213 brush and I'm just going to take the two matte shadows that I used just to blend that in my lower lash line. And I'm using the same brush and I'm going to take the gold shade and use that as my inner corner highlight. I'm going in with some of my Garnier spray. For lips, I'm using the same Sephora liner. And then for lipstick, I'm using this KKW Nude 1.5. And then to tone this down a little bit, I'm going in with my Tower 28 gloss in the shade Almond. And finally, to set the face, I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Alright you guys, so this is the finished look. So my final thoughts on the Celestial Odyssey eyeshadow palette from Pat McGrath. Honestly, you guys, if you want to try Pat McGrath shadows, I'd suggest you pick them up right now, because when Pat McGrath says limited edition, she means limited edition. This is very inexpensive in comparison to her other palettes. These shadows perform very nicely. They blend really, really well. I didn't have to wet my brushes or anything like that. They just live up to the high Pat McGrath standard, and I suggest you pick this palette up if you want to try Pat McGrath shadows. A lot of you guys waited last year and you were not able to get the Celestial Divinity eyeshadow palette. So if you really wanted to try Pat McGrath shadows, I'd suggest you run and go get this palette. I definitely recommend this palette. If you want to try Pat's shadows, definitely pick this palette up. It is available on Sephora as well as the Pat McGrath official website. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Let me know if you are going to pick this palette up. Let me know if you're even interested in seeing more looks with this palette. Once again, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.